Hey there, this is the one Boom, and today we are going to be talking about Vanguard? I mean, why not, right? I can finally play it, so why not bitch about it 3 days later? Vanguard is not a perfect Call of Duty by any means, but I do think it gets a lot of the basic run and gun things right about COD. The thing it gets absolutely wrong, compared to any other COD I can think of, is the way it lays out perks. I was gonna make a video about everything wrong with Call of Duty Vanguard, and I was gonna mention perks in there, but I thought I'm still gonna make an everything wrong with Vanguard video, do a sort of update should you buy video for Vanguard, and I'm gonna do that soon. But this I have to get off my chest in its own video. So not only does Vanguard have the worst set of launch perks ever simply due to the categories that they're placed in, they have now added multiple perks that in my opinion make zero sense to add. It sucks that in a game with so much weapon customization, we are so limited when it comes to perks. The fact that Cold-Blooded, Ghost, and Ninja are all in one category is enough to raise some eyebrows, because usually in Call of Duty you can combine at least 2 different stealth perks, but in this game, they sort of encourage you to put on Cold-Blooded and then run Dead Silence if you want the full Ghost, Ninja, Cold-Blooded trifecta. You know, even in Black Ops Cold War, a Call of Duty game I'm not too fond of, you can put a wild card on and use a bunch of different perks from the same category, and it's almost like that's just missing here. I would gladly trade 5 attachments off my guns in order to have 3 perks from one category, because then I can make a focused loadout based around a certain playstyle. I don't need 10 attachments on my gun. I'd like to be able to take a rifle that I like, put a suppressor on it, and make a full-on stealth class, or make a rocket launcher shotgun class that's fully dedicated to taking out enemy equipment. But in this game, you just simply can't do that. Now, taking out enemy equipment could be okay, because all you really need for that is Engineer. Now, the thing about Engineer is that it obviously does what Engineer has always done. It allows you to see enemy equipment through walls, and that's awesome, that's great, that's perfect, but for some reason, in the Battle Pass of all places, Sledgehammer added a perk called Armory, to Tier 1 by the way, because Tier 1 was already stacked as fuck, but they added something that allows you to use equipment faster, and then your equipment is immune to the Engineer perk, so it can't be hijacked or hacked or viewed through walls. So we have Engineer, which is a counter perk to equipment spam, and then we have Armory, which is a counter perk to Engineer, placed in the Battle Pass. Why? Well, maybe they want people to spend their money to get a perk like this, maybe it's really that vindictive, maybe they're just stupid, I don't know, but you don't need a perk to counter a counter perk, especially when what Engineer ends up countering most often are campers. It's countering people using S-mines and demolition charges, ammo boxes up on a rooftop to refill, tack inserts. It's used to counter campers, people that are dug in and camping with a field mic by their feet. So why should they be able to hide off my radar? Now, more perplexing is that we already had a perk called High Alert, which alerts you to when an enemy is looking at your back. A perk that's already been a little bit contentious in Call of Duty, because should you really be notified that someone's looking at you? Like, if I sneak up behind you, why do you get to wear a perk that lets you know? And then again, you can counter it with Cold-Blooded, so use Cold-Blooded, stalk people all day long. But then they have Intuition, which has it so that your vision pulses when enemies are simply nearby. And it works even through walls. Why is there a perk that basically fully decreases the need for situational awareness? I don't know. Then, with the addition of the new arms race mode, they added the perk Mechanic, which reduces damage you take while driving a vehicle, which is asinine because you shouldn't take less damage because you're on something that makes you move faster or makes you actually have more cover. Like if you're in a Jeep, you're harder to hit. If you're on a motorcycle, you should be fast. Why do you take reduced damage for being on a vehicle? And then also it just makes your field upgrades charge 20% faster, which is essentially tune-up from Modern Warfare. That's fine, but you can now combine Mechanic and Armory so you can place a bunch of field upgrade garbage and people can't track it with Engineer. So you can stack Mechanic and Armory, but you can't stack Ninja and Cold-Blooded. And this gets even more annoying, because you can also stack Demolition and armory. And then even worse, you can have double time or lightweight with a perk like Serpentine, a perk they added that basically makes it so you take reduced damage while sprinting. So it's okay to combine lightweight or double time with a perk that makes you take less damage the faster you're moving, but you can't combine fortified and survival training, essentially tack mask and flak jacket. Okay, then we have a perk in the game that highlights enemies that are being shot at by your weapons. Sufficiently suppressed targets will be highlighted for a short time, rendering them visible through walls and obscuring effects. So smoke grenades and walls, be damned, you can just tear through them with your FMJ, BAR, or MG while essentially getting wall hacks for shooting at them. The perk that counters this is Dauntless. The game is telling you if you don't want to be wall hacked and killed for being shot at, use Dauntless. Dauntless will counter Piercing Vision. So that works out, right? Well, this turns Piercing Vision into a crutch perk because it literally highlights enemies that you're shooting at, which is just generally effective, and then you have a perk that counters it. Of course I want to not be highlighted when I get shot at, so of course I'm going to run Dauntless every time I'm in a match where somebody shoots at me and I get the little notification telling me that I've been spotted. So even if I made a stealth build to the best of my ability by using Cold-Blooded and the Dead Silence field upgrade, which doubles as Dead Silence and Ghost, if I utilize that and then somebody shoots at me, which God forbid that happens, with the Piercing Vision perk, they just get to see me through walls and through smoke grenades, and then I get wall banged. So then I'm immediately encouraged to equip Dauntless for the rest of the match so that I don't get wall banged for the fucking atrocious crime of being shot at. This, to me, is beyond stupid and has no place in a Call of Duty game. Like Piercing Vision and Serpentine, Armory, they have no place in a COD game. You shouldn't take less damage when sprinting, be able to wall hack enemies for missing, and then also counter-engineer? Just hard counter-engineer, really. It's so silly that these perks are so restricting and yet so overpowered and damning to so many different playstyles, and they add so many different inconsistencies into the gunfights. But of course, this is the Call of Duty game that has the most expansive weapon customization we've ever seen. But we don't have a way to properly use these perks with a wildcard system, so we can't really build the loadouts we want to make, and the perks that are here are imbalanced and add a bunch of, again, inconsistencies and stupidity into Call of Duty's already very frantic, casual, friendly gunplay. There's no reason for this. This shows me that Sledgehammer just thinks that more is better than good. This game gets the quality to quantity ratio pretty much correct throughout every design decision I can look at, except when it comes to perks. They drop the ball balance-wise and they drop the ball creativity-wise because this is an actual downgrade from Cold War. And to further put a little bit of salt in this wound, it's a downgrade from Modern Warfare as well, because while Modern Warfare had the same type of perk setup, the categories were laid out better, they were rearranged pretty early on in the life cycle to be even better, and you could run Specialist to get more perks as you get kills. This game doesn't have that feature, so weirdly it's a downgrade from the last two Call of Duty games, and I can't think of a reason why. Let me know what you think down below. This video's gone on too long. Buy an eWin racing chair. There's a link down in the description. 20% off. Use code 1boom20. Talk to you later. Goodbye.